Alright class, so today we're looking at area of compound shapes. So as you know, compound shapes are formed by combining regular shapes together. For example, rectangles and squares. That's what we look at this level. So to find the area of a compound shape, we need to split the compound shape into regular shapes that we know to find the area of. We know to solve the area of a rectangle is length multiplied by width, and we also know to solve for the area of a square, which is side multiplied by side. So, looking at it here now, we'll explain using these two examples. So, looking at these examples here, we could split this shape into two parts. So first, example 1, I'll split the shape like this, forming two shapes. I'll call here A, and I'll call here B. So we have this entire thing here would be the area of B, and this entire part here would be the area of A. Alright, so we're thinking about it as though we take our scissors and we cut the shape into two separate parts. However, we have two unknown sides in this part A. So before we could calculate the area of A, we need to solve for the unknown sides. So we have this unknown side here, which will make up this part of A, and we have this unknown side here, which would make up this part of A. Looking at this now, we know that X, I'll call this side X, is a horizontal line. Since it is a horizontal line, we need to find for use the horizontal values to find for that value. So we know from top here, from end here to the end here is 20. And this little dotted piece here, we know would be 6. The same as the base here, 6. So we know when we add x and we add 6, we're supposed to get 20. So to calculate for the value for x, we take the total, which is 20, and take away the 6. And 20 take away 6 is 14. So we know this piece here is 14 centimeters. Looking for y now, we know y is a vertical line. And since this is a vertical line, we only look at the vertical values, which is 7 and 13. We know now that this entire length here is 13, and this little piece here is 7. So when we add the 7 and the y, we're supposed to get 13. So to find out what y is, it will be 13, take away the 7, and that will give us 6. So we know y is 6 centimeters. So looking back at this now, we know the two shapes, and we know the values, or the sides then, sorry, of the two shapes. Alright, so we know that A is a rectangle because we have the length and we have the width. So first we could find the area of A. And to find the area of a rectangle, it is length multiplied by width. And we know the length of A is 14 centimeters and the width of A is 6 centimeters. So now we can multiply the two and find out the area of shape A only. Alright, so 14 multiplied by 6 will give us 84. Alright, so that will give us 84 centimeters squared. So this area here is 84 centimeters squared. Now we're looking at B. B is this entire shape here. This here is B. And B, we know based on the dimensions, is also a rectangle. We know the length is 13 and the width is 6. And we know to calculate we know the formula to calculate area of a rectangle, which is length multiplied by width, which is equal to 13 centimeters multiplied by 6 centimeters And 13 multiplied by 6 will give us 78. So that's 78 centimeters squared. Remember, area is in square units. So good. Now that we have the area of A and the area of B, we could find the total area of this compound shape. And to find the total area, we add all the areas. So total area would be 84 centimeters squared. Add the 78 centimeters squared. And that will give us a total area of 84 plus that, 162 centimeters squared. So we know now that the total area of the shape here is 162 centimeters squared. So to recap for this example here, first what we want to do is to find the unknown sides. Once you found the unknown sides, then you want to split your shape to form regular shapes, either squares or rectangles. From there now, you find the area of each regular shape, and then now, after you found the area of each regular shape to calculate the total area, we just add the area of all the regular shapes that we divided it into. So let's look at the second example. So I divided the shape with a vertical line, right? Now we'll divide the shape with a horizontal line. So let's think about cutting the shape like this, forming two shapes here. We call here A, and we call here B. So we know B is this shape here, and A is this shape here, everything inside here. So looking at this now, again, we have two different shapes, but we are missing sides. We are missing now, to find the value for the area for A, we have the length, but we don't have the width. We're missing the width. So we could find out the width. I'll call here Y. And for shape B, which is this shape in the base here, shape B, this shape here, we have the length and we also have the width. And we realize that the length is longer than the width, which means that it is a rectangle. All right, so we don't make assumptions and just look at a image and assume that it is a square or a rectangle. We look at the dimensions, and then from there, this is when we deduce if it is a rectangle or a square based on the sides. If the sides were the same, it's a square. If the sides are different and we have a length and a width, it is a rectangle. So before we could do any calculations for area, let's find out the length of Y. So we know Y is a vertical line, so we're only looking at the vertical values, which is 13 and 7. We know from the top to the bottom here is 13, from here to here is 13, and we know if we join up 7 and Y, we will get that 13. So therefore, to find out what Y is, it will be 13 centimeters take away 7 centimeters, which will give us 6 centimeters. So we know that Y here is 6 centimeters. Now looking at this, we have the length of A, which is 20, and now we've just found out the width of A, which is 6, because remember, shape A is only this here. We're thinking about it as though we take our scissors and cut out the shaping parts. So we know this is a rectangle here. So let's find out the area of shape A. So area of A, we know is a rectangle because it have a length and a width. So its length multiplied by width is area. So it's just 20 centimeters multiplied by 6 centimeters. And 6 by 2 is 12. Add the zeros, so that's 120 centimeters squared. Now we could find out the area of B. Looking at the dimensions here, to find the area of B, we know that it is a rectangle because we have one side is 7, one side is 6. So therefore it will be length multiplied by width. The length will be 7 centimeters multiplied by the width, which is 6 centimeters. And 7 by 6 is 42. So that's 42 centimeters squared. So we know here is 120 centimeters squared. And here is 42 centimeters squared. So to calculate the total area, all we need to do is to add up the area of both shapes, which is 120 centimeters squared, add 42 centimeters squared, and that will give us 162 centimeters squared. So the total area for this shape is 162 centimeters squared. So again, once you have to find the area of a compound shape, you find your unknown sides. When you find your unknown sides, you split your shape into regular shapes. When you split your shape into regular shapes now, then you find the area of each regular shape. Once you've found the area of all the regular shapes, then you add them together, and that will give us the total area of the compound shapes. Alright, and that's it for area of compound shapes.